Alrighty. Bye, Bell. Alright, not yet. Uh, well, anyway. Gonna be casting again for the thing. It's splitting up. Gonna be casting with Porus Interactive. I forget his name. Is Spartan in the name, so. Oh my goodness. Get me out of this cinematic camera view. I have so many screens, but it's just not working right now. Anyway, on top of the screen, those are the teams that made it in the top 8. Right now, we are moving on to the SKT versus VOD first battle. I'm going to also show you the... Oh my god, I have so many things that up. I don't know which one it is. Whatever. Yep. We have... Oh. Come on. There we go. So, SKT rolled a 3, VOD rolled a 1. I think in this case, SKT bans first. So they banned Harbour City, then Hidden City, sorry, banned Dysel Fort, then VOD banned Wall Fort with Harbour City for SKT and VOD attacking on Hidden City. I forget how they did this, but we've only got the thing. So we have a ban from Wu Wei Magic Guards, Imperial Pike Guards, Zanji Heavy Cavalry coming from SKT with a save of the Sunward's Phalanx, VOD banning out the Imperial Spear Guard, Halberdier Sergeants, and the Zycelian Militia, but did not save. This will zoom. Join a meeting. Missing some numbers from that one. Oh no, everything's going wrong already. But yeah, it's best of 5 now, so this is why there is ban rules. You have to win 3 battles. It could end up in a landslide victory, so you could win three of your sieges. I do think they'll go through a second banning phase, pick ban phase, because each set. Oh no, sorry. I take that back. This is the pick ban for the whole thing. So SKT has chosen Harbour City for one set, and BOD chose Hidden City for the second set. So they'll be attacking and defending Harbour City. So they'll each be attacking and defending on each of the maps. Wow. Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Did I? Was that? Oh man. Is that my screen? Oh, that's your screen.
Can you see the booming tech screen?
Yeah, I
'Cause
can
that is the
see it.
one. Can you see the booming tech screen?
I don't know how to open up larger though. I can't see it if that's what you mean.
Can you right click it and there is a fix button and just click fix. It should
Oh, yeah,
put it
pin. Yep,
into full
I
screen.
pinned it.
Okay, cool, great. Yeah, but the quality looks very bad. I don't know why. Is it same to you too?
Yeah, it's the same for me as well.
Okay, I will try to please wait for a moment. Okay, now it looks
I started
much
sharing my
better.
screen. Do you want me to stop that? Sorry.
Yeah, sure, no problem. That would be better, I think.
It's alright. I'll stop sharing.
Great.
Wow.
we can see that even until now that there is no large conflict between two teams.
It's actually pretty good. I mean, BOD wants to avoid a big confrontation as much as possible. The defenders don't particularly want to take fair fights. They want to definitely catch the attackers, unless they believe they are stronger. But after a bit of this mortaring, I definitely do not believe that they are looking super healthy. They try to hide behind this, well, I would call it a house.
Yeah, but they still got bombed.
They're still getting a little bit. Nice to see some Samachian stalwarts out on the field. I do enjoy the Samachian stalwarts. Too bad they're not the most meta of infantry. I do believe the Imperial Spear Guard would be the best shield, but interestingly enough, SKT banning out the Imperial Spear Guard, keeping out the super heavy shield options.
Mm-hmm. I don't think BOD's position is looking too good.
Definitely not. And they've taken 2 major hits right now from the
Yeah.
mortars, and SKT is raring up to come down this stairs. We'll see if BOD does go for a confrontation. Surprisingly, I just noticed that there is the Alchemist out in BOD's group, so they're probably much more healthier than we suspect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that SKT is trying to make a move.
When they do, it will be a clash that will last probably over a minute, but it will be fairly fast, as all of the abilities from both sides. SKT making a move towards the supply point. BOD performs a retreat instead. Doesn't look like they're going for a fight towards the supply point. Taking this very safe, avoiding confrontation as much as possible, and, probably I didn't calculate the time gained from the ACAT, but we are clocking 8 minutes 45 seconds. So this gives SKT enough time to do 2 attacks if they rush it. But
Mm-hmm.
this is also another old strategy. Well, we've seen defenses like these before, but I'm surprised that BOD bought a lot of time with just posturing. The defenses on these hard corners, if you want to walk into this hard corner, BOD can definitely have a lot of troops just corner SKT if they decide to take this left-hand turn. But the best idea for SKT is to pull BOD away from the right-hand side, and that's either pushing up through the center or the left-hand side. If they do go through the right-hand side, BOD is just going to push them straight into that corner, leaving them very little space to work with. Some counter-mortar fire coming from BOD as well. That's quite surprising. I thought they would have used most of their artillery on the wall, but not actually that much. Just probably the one mortar, in fact.
7 minutes
SKT
left.
does make a move towards the left-hand side. They're going to pressure the supply point. BOD has to defend the supply point. If the supply point gets taken, they're pretty much in the worst position possible for a Harbor City mat. Now switching back towards the middle. If BOD did get pulled out of position properly, SKT could force them to fight. Unfortunately not. They didn't actually drag BOD out of position. BOD's got good teamwork. They're not reacting to SKT immediate baits for the feints. They definitely have contingents ready. when it comes down to top level teams, it's very scary when they actually engage, and it could be quite one-sided once the battle starts. What I didn't notice that there are actually outriders for BOD. There's a lot of skirmish. Happening with the heroes, and a lot of damage taken from SKT as they rock up towards the left-hand side in full. Treb on that intersection gives them a little bit of time to push on towards the supply point. You got Myrmiolones and the Phalanx pushing. Iron Reapers just charging straight through. That one contingent from BOD does get taken out. The supply point is completely open. Whoa! Banner from a Banner Guard placed down for BOD, but a massive Treb comes through and strikes the center line as the front line gets kind of split off. SKT's kind of in a weird pocket scenario where a couple of their guys got trapped as they were trying to turn the corner. But BOD will respawn shortly. SKT will take the supply point. Let's see if they can hold it. Not very many of them died, but a lot of BOD's heroes did die, which is actually good, because BOD will come back in force. The base point is being taken. Fortunately, there is a musket holding the base point right now. With the supply point taken, though, it's going to be very important for BOD to maintain, well, stop the SKT from spawning in units, so they need to get straight on top of it. Takes another heavy trebbing from SKT as they just come out in force. Here comes the Companion Cavalry as they come to sweep up the rest. But SKT also has Companion Cavalry respawn heading towards the base point as we speak. The musket did a really good job now that I'm looking at the base point right now.
Our team is about to capture the final flag.
Now we have the short sword on the point. BOD should be able to push this Myrmiolones and Cavalry straight off the point. And SKT will have to reorganize for a second assault. A heavy loss for SKT and for BOD and SKT, but BOD lost out more, I would say, or less. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But 3 minutes 43 seconds to go. BOD has paced out SKT quite significantly, keeping them at the back. But more than 60% of the cap point being taken. It's only going to take around about 7 seconds for the cap point to... We have large contingent moving over again towards the left-hand side. SKT probably still has one last tread. We got both flamers shooting towards each other. It's kind of like a death box right now on both sides. The Sunway Phalanxes are trying to push through. SKT has deployed multiple... Whoa! They trapped themselves super heavily just now, but they are winning. BOD is getting cleared out on the north side. They'll push on towards the base point right now, and... It's hard to say whether or not BOD has anyone defending. I don't think BOD is going to have anyone on the point at this point. But the supply point not locked up by SKT, and although it does look like the exchanges were even in that second one, we're running out of time with 2 minutes left to go. SKT is trying to kill off the heroes that are jumping straight onto the point, and they have unit superiority. BOD should be able to clean up. Whoa, maybe not. Companion Cavalries make a complete mess of the infantry that was just trying to get towards the base point. Another set of companion cavalry just makes it towards.
Child's play.
SKT is slaughtering the infantry as they're rocking up. Just the heroes are getting caught out one by one.
Ashes to ashes.
And
dust to dust.
I think SKT is going to be able to clear this up easily.
2号准备啊，2号。
It's too far away for anyone from the respawn, and I don't see anything significant being able to create any space. A very tragic ending for BOD. Just major fights just ending with super heavy losses for BOD at the end, finishing with just a drastic loss in heroes. I think the companion cavalry has really carried the day towards that base point, finishing up most of the infantry that was remaining. I don't think BOD had any units left to respawn. That's why they just left the supply point so quickly. As we can see from BOD's perspective, they lost the number of heroes that went down to permadeath is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Wow, that's a lot.
there's been more before. Considering that there was only 2 major engagements, BOD did throw themselves at SKT, but SKT dominating in the beginning of the fight does cause BOD to rely on the defender's advantage, where they can respawn and catch the attackers in a weakened state. Too bad that they weren't able to either recover more, or they just lost the battle up front too heavily in order to sustain an attrition like that. The stronger the attack is for the attackers, the harder it is for BOD to reestablish their defense. But we can also see that there's a massive amount of teamwork happening from SKT. So many double-digit assists, not to mention very low number of deaths coming out from SKT.
Absolutely.
What I'm also surprised about is that the short swords didn't switch out. I mean, not the short swords, the short bows. So we had a longbow, earlier, but the longbow switched out. But there's still 2 short bows. I'm not sure if they were having that much of an impact, but they're not particularly a class that you see very often in CBL. But with SKT winning their attack, I'm wondering whether or not VOD can perform just as well. Normally teams are better on attack than they are defending. It would be silly of me to assume that just because they lost on the defense that BOD would not be able to win on the attack. And it wasn't that much of a difference between the 2 teams. I think the assets from SKT really helped them a lot. Major trebs. There were several major trebs throughout in both of the major battles. Do you think the Siphonarioids are too powerful? I do see them quite used fairly often to just obliterate an entire front line, and we saw both teams kind of shoot fire at each other, and I could barely see any of the infantry in the center as they try to push up towards each other.
Yeah. And I also would love to see the status after each match is over, and we can see which unit is most used.
我应该快都快满了，我应该快进来。对吗？我可以退了吗？我这把。或者把这根线拔掉呢？这边可以退了吗？可以退了，你可以退了。对，我这边。那他们满了那边肯定没。
It would be interesting. I definitely think that if we could see some of the unit performances or unit stats for particular units from heroes, it would be delightful to see how we can kind of match up timings for their usage and their actual performance on like metric scale. How many kills they got, how much damage they did. I expect the Siphonarioids to definitely kill multiple units when entire teams of 15 are clumped up together like that.
跟外面先对好，就是这个 Zoom 到底怎么连上？因为现在我看那个没有弄好，然后这边弄好之后我们再开始播。
Okay.
啊，
That's alright. Okay. Technical difficulties. Well, doesn't mean I say that. Doesn't mean I can't watch it. Alrighty. Second battle for SKT versus BOD has begun. So, this time I don't have the co-host. Although I would definitely have enjoyed it more if I did have a co-host. No, it's not it. No, I mess by myself yet again. Ugh, I forgot to put down my camera for you guys, so it's not always there. You're gonna see this in like 3 minutes Mask Flame. Well, you're gonna hear this in 3 minutes Mask Flame Z. What pull for? What pull? What for? I can start a prediction. It's gonna be late though. Alright, who will win? SKT or BOD? I already started. Well, I mean, like, you're gonna hear this 3 minutes after I actually started it. They're easy to counter and hard to play. You need also good synergy around them as well. I don't know. In a team setting, the overall potential is quite devastating. You can say that they're easy to counter, but in retrospect, unless you plan to counter the Siphonario, it's not the easiest thing to deal with. Zychelium Militia are pretty much one of the only counters, because Zychelium Militia will cause them a lot of pain. If they explode inside your lines, that's... Man, we've watched multiple times as flame units just explode in the lines of... the teams. It would be very silly for SKT to destroy the siege tower when they haven't pushed it. BOD is not pushing any of the siege towers, which is very silly of them. SKT does destroy the left-hand siege tower for no reason. BOD is not even pushing right now, so they don't need to afford to push. They don't need to waste resources on destroying the siege towers right now. We do have counter mortar fire, but the muskets does look like they want to destroy those mortars before they destroy the culverins. It's not easy to set them up. Yeah, not easy to set them up. Not with without the ISGs to really pin the enemy. ISGs are really the best holding force. I don't think many of the other shields can even compare. Now the siege towers are moving.
First blood.
Whoa, SKT sniping out who here? The surprising thing is that watching the Longos just shoot each other is just like, how much damage are they dealing to each other? Each of the shots against like high armor would not even do like 600 damage. Some of the medium armor would probably receive twice as much. The light armor probably receives the most at probably about 1500. But I would not expect to get sniped out like this unless there's a ballista. Unless someone jumped up. Right-hand siege tower does go down. Left-hand siege tower will also go down. Middle siege tower was up on the wall. BOD definitely would not want to go up on a single siege tower, like every team. We got a couple of guys staring at the back gate. I'm not sure if they want to go through the back gate, because I don't even think any of the SKT guys are actually on the floor there. They're pushing all of the siege engines right now. SKT still has a couple of artilleries in reserve. 6, in fact. I like this shooting contest on the top of the siege tower. We have SKT snipes out, and did he fall to his death? Where? I can't even see his body. Maybe I should have went closer. SKT picked up a kill, but where? Where did he die? SKT's musket. Will he escape? Oh man, this is going to be brutal. Whoop! Keep climbing, dude. Oh, it wasn't high enough. It was too late. Too late. Try to snipe the kill on SKT there. Two of your heroes died. Who died? Longbow died. 2 people died. Shortbow. Whoa, 3 people died. BOD's shortbow, spear, longbow all died. I only saw 2 deaths. Who died? Who the third one did? Unimpressively, I mean, whether or not SKT kind of retreated late, or whether or not BOD just couldn't catch anyone, this looking like a fairly standard siege so far. Well, besides the whole commitment of artillery. A-point gives you 4 minutes, right? Gained a lot of time. SKT gained more time than BOD did against them. Which is kind of strange, because I honestly thought that BOD had made better time. Maybe I need to rewatch that. I mean,
2号准备啊，
hello.
对，对他那个什么，他就会打了。2号准备啊，2号准备啊，他其实在靠位打了。
I think the mortaring has been more effective. It's nice to see some Fortebraccias out on the field, but the slower turn rate is going to be very backfiery. Going to be very worrisome if they can't concentrate the enemies on one side. BOD didn't go all the way in. Oh, very surprising. SKT is now in a full defensive formation that push the Iron Reapers charge out. This will be fairly interesting to see how this ends up. We also have a massive flanking force. Nice Shenji grenade onto the back line of those shields right now. Pushing on with Iron Reapers and Sunway Phalanx. Let's see if the backline can hold as the pushing force wins. Unfortunately, triple Iron Reapers coming out for SKT. Also, another Banner Guard. Banner Guard's defensive capability, defensive banner comes out huge as BOD just gets surrounded and collapsed on. Sacrifice of probably just a 1 or 2 shield units, and a probably big pickup coming for SKT. BOD is going to probably lose out that Shenji, just the remainder of the forces. 7 hero deaths. Not the greatest. I definitely would suspect that SKT could easily reform and reestablish. How many people from SKT died? 1, 2, 3. 3 people died. Surprisingly. Only 3 people died from SKT. BOD probably lost at least 10 lives. We have companion cavalries out in force. SKT is not on the supply point. We could see the companion cavalry just going straight on it. Here comes a Gale Strike. Does the Iron Reaper pick up any? They do. They picked up 3, in fact, models off of that companion cavalry. You got to be a bit careful. Gale Strike is a nice skill. Unfortunately, they tend to leave a lot alive. SKT. Whoa! Companion cavalry just goes straight into the front, just overwhelming the front line with companions. The sheer number. Also, the back line is doing fairly well for itself, trying to keep both sides. But it's now come down to the Sunway phalanxes and the Siphonarioids pointing at each other. But Treb should clean up the back line. There's only one Siphonarioid left as they come swinging through with more companion cavalries, surprisingly making it straight past that Sunway phalanx. Just too many for the Sunway phalanx to stop right now. A very good pickup for BOD. SKT out of position, I would say. Not only that, just a super heavy loss for particularly no reason. Hello. Ah! Let me just reorganize some things first. Huh? He bombed his allies. Mass Claim Z, I am looking at your comment and it is very far behind, so I have no idea where you're pacing that from. Four minutes to go. SKT does have a very good position to hold this defense. BOD really needs a strong start. They can't give SKT any room right now. Could be a full-on supply point claim. If BOD just goes for the supply point super hard, they should be able to treb that Falconetti gunner. Companion cavalry just straight into the pointy end of a stick. Instantly deleted. Falconetti gunners get taken out. The supply point gets taken. BOD slowly but surely needs to just win this next fight against SKT. I don't know why you would treb your advance like this. If you're going for it, you're going for it. Here comes a very high Shenji grenade straight onto phalanxes. Lines of phalanxes. Trebbing themselves. BOD probably getting desperate. SKT's biggest mistake was letting that supply point get taken. But they can't slow down the unstoppable onslaught from BOD now. with the supply
Ashes
point,
to ashes, dust to
with just the
dust.
supply point, with no supply point, the heroes will have to die in order to get new units out. But unit advantage-wise,
Summons
BOD
you.
is up massively. SKT still has a very small force here. They're just buying time right now for reinforcements to appear. BOD needs to clump up, come in together, defeat this force without losing too many. Doesn't look like they brought out more troops. 8 of their heroes are only alive. How many died? Very spread out right now. BOD will probably attrition down, but we have some companion cavalry jump straight onto the Rattan marksman. Probably one of the more difficult unit to deal with, especially with all the debuffs. What probably would have been your clincher to kill off the heroes. SKT is re-establishing dominance. They just need to defeat this phalanx. We have an Iron Caps scouts just rocking the halberdiers out of formation.
A walk in the park.
Heroes from both sides trying to just kill each other. Whoa! And we just saw a pike swing. We just saw a pike swing. Very fascinating. Very fascinating to see that come out. I don't know why he used it. There was not particularly any reason to use it. SKT dominating right now in the fight for the heroes and units. Got about a minute to go. The only problem here now is that they need to get the units in. A couple of their heroes are just too deep. But Halberdier sorry, not Halberdier Sergeants, and the Demez Spearmen. Not going to be any problem right now.
A walk in the park.
Surprisingly, I thought the Halberdiers would do much better in that scenario, but not entirely. Maybe it's because they were not in phalanx. The Rattan pikemen are probably debuffing the heroes from BOD too heavily. It's just a scrap for the base point. Both sides are out of units, or basically out of units now. SKT has achieved the defense, but it is very funny to watch these guys just kill each other until the very last second. Well done, SKT. Definitely a strong performance from BOD, but not fast enough. If they probably had a little bit more time and probably kept the group together, I think they could have gotten the victory. The push onto the supply point definitely was good. The problem was just very little time. They needed to secure victory by slowly securing each and every kill they can get. The problem was that SKT paced. Oh man, SKT pacing out the battles for such a long distance. Honestly, it was frustrating. I'm gonna put frustrating. Watching SKT kind of lure BOD in. The only time I felt like BOD had a really good fight was when SKT kind of tried to defend fought for the supply point in a bad position. The supply point's already been taken, and they coming in. BOD just eats them up. Really good from SKT for doing this around, but they did sacrifice 2 units in order to achieve that. So I don't know, like there's a lot of high-level strategy stuff coming out from both teams where positioning and time and place of the battle is super crucial. Psychomanic. The fight was fairly close. I'm pretty sure if BOD just took a more slower approach, they could have gained the victory and finish off. I wanna say that BOD I wanna say that BOD has a chance. I don't believe it's going to be a big chance. They need to win the next 2 battles. Only 1 person voted? Oh no, wait, 2 people voted. Okay. Oh, man. It's quite frustrating to watch both of these teams. I mean, we've got spectator bias here. I can see things they probably can't. Or probably even if they did consider these things, just on the field, it's just probably impractical. SKT definitely of the stronger of the 2 teams. And it's definitely coming out to show, but it's not There's been 2 matches so far. We have 2 to SKT, 0 for BOD. It is best of 5. Surprisingly, best of 5, because since the next battle since supposed to start in about 30 minutes. So for those of you that don't know, hang on, just let me make sure I bring this up properly. So we are on to the 3rd battle. Now, how the pick ban phase works right now for the best of 5 has a bunch of different rules. I don't want to read out the whole rules for you right now. I can just tell you right now, BOD selected Hidden City. I expect them to take at least 1 battle from SKT on Hidden City. I hope they do. But it is a best of 5. SKT just needs 1 more battle and they win. They kick BOD out in the quarterfinals. And this is the pick bans, so definitely SKT wanted the Sunwave Phalanx, and we can definitely see that Sunwave Phalanx is pretty much coming in. The problem is that like I don't see them really pushing the teams into a more advantageous position. We saw some Fort Brachios come out. I don't think they did very well. The Sunwave Phalanx has a lot of utility, but again, there's a lot of formation breakers. There's definitely a lot of infantry that will have a massive advantage over these people. The surprising thing here as well, very little Lancelots coming out. I expected to see quite a few Lancelots. Iron Reapers, I wouldn't bring Iron Reapers unless I'm expressly fighting off against heavy shield units. There's no reason to bring Iron Reapers unless you're fighting off against heavy shield units, and as well, the Imperial Spear Guards got banned by BOD, so I got that wrong earlier. I thought SKT banned the link for schedule, yeah. What the hell? Why is my right click not working? Ah, man, I have the Windows captured on the same thing. It's not broken, they're having technical issues. I think it's my fault. I think it's my fault that they're having technical issues because, like, they invited me to co-cast. Ugh. Now, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. It's kind of been a little bit scuffed, but I mean, the beginning section was super scuffed. I was muted the entire time. I want to just shoot myself, and I was just like, oh no. When someone told me it was muted, and the worst thing is that I don't get to know that it's muted until 3 minutes afterwards because it's on delay. And it's just like, ugh. I did all that talking, and it's just like, no one's ever gonna hear it, and it's just like, I can't rewind and redo it, and it's like, ugh! I want to just feel pain. I just feel pain. I'm surprised that BOD banned out Warfort. I suspected that, like, maybe SKT liked Warfort. The weirdest ban is Daiso. I mean, no one likes Daiso, but would actually anyone pick it? Would you pick Daiso to attack? I don't believe Daiso Fort's a very good map to attack. I don't believe it's very hard to defend. I believe it's actually very easy to defend. There are definitely some positions that in a group of 15 just doesn't work out in a normal siege. Particularly in a normal siege, you can take advantage of weaknesses in the enemy team or where the enemy team is not. But in a 15v15 scenario, if you can allocate your resources properly, there is no reason you cannot defend Daiso Fort. Like, it's just so easy to match the attackers because you'll know their pace. You'll know where they go. And if you got the right warband, you will kick their ass. You can always set up for a counterattack as well. They hit the... I mean, They come up from the wall, you hit them with the cavalry. They come out through that doorway, you hold that doorway. If you get pushed towards the stairs, don't even bother going up. If the stairs are just too difficult. But anyway, enough about Daiso Fort. We're here on Hidden City. And we got 5 muskets coming out from SKT, 2 longbows, and 1 shortbow. I do think the shortbows are being a menace. Being a surprise menace. I suspected that the shortbow is actually stronger than people give it credit for in this season. I just didn't expect it to come out so late. Short swords are also fairly popular. They are still more or less. I think the short sword has better 1v1ing capabilities. But a long sword should be almost guaranteed on the defense. A longsword on the defense should be almost guaranteed. No, I didn't. Did I? Do not give me that. I can see my mic. I'm looking, man. You're gonna give me another heart attack if you tell me I'm muted. You're not gonna hear this until 3 minutes afterwards, but like, let me just tell you, don't do that to me. It's gonna hurt. I'm gonna get like a mini heart attack, and just only to realize that I didn't mute myself. But if I did realize that I muted myself, then I'm just like, ah! I don't know why there's this little stuttering when like coming in. I think it's something to do with the loading. Instantly, Trebs. Just the cannon. Trebs in Hidden City are not spectacular, so I guess it's not a waste. You normally want to go after the artillery that the defenders put down, though I do think very difficult to hit or spot. This one's on the stairs, so you can't exactly actually hit it. Oh, but they do suspect it. Got a bit of a mortar here, shooting towards that cauldron. Also, this is always just very fascinating to me. And again, cannons. Is the reason that, like, there's no way that the cannons deal more damage? Is it because you can only fit cannons in here? That would be weird and funny. That you could only fit cannons in here. Right-hand siege tower does look like going to get destroyed. Middle siege tower untouched. Hidden City's a little bit more difficult to set up for a choke. Mostly because you're gonna have to sit at the A point behind the wall, behind the building thing, in order to stay safe from trips. Down goes the right-hand siege tower. Mere moments away from touching that wall. I've seen siege towers in CBL make it to the wall, and it's literally the slithereth of health. The defenders must be feeling very sore. We got Pike. We got Prefecture Pike on the top of the wall. Could be super dangerous for any hero that decides to mess with these guys. Though, I think a better choice would have been the Ironcap Scouts. I'm going to put it down to this, that, sure, damage from the Prefecture Pikes are higher on single instances. They also have a very powerful follow-up attack. The problem is that Ironcap Scouts are, not Scouts, Ironcap Swordsmen are scary. Very scary.
First blood.
Maybe I did mute myself, Seer Flex. It was meant as a reaction to what you said. Oh, I see. Yeah. Maybe I need to make a pin. It'll just be like pin 3 minutes delay or something. No, not egg. Oh man, goodness.
Nothing my axe can't
Hang
handle.
on, let me try that again. Bloody hell. There we go. Everyone knows that I'm on a 3-minute delay. I'm surprised that I don't like this fighting on a rooftop thing, but I find it hilarious. Did he just... Oh, for a second there, I thought he jumped off the other side. Then why would you use a cannon over a culverin? I don't understand it. He missed as well. I would always shoot this roof thingy. I hate it. I hate it when, like, I'm a melee hero. Yep, there we go. Get wrecked, scrub! Oh, and then it's just like, this one guy's just like, oh no! My platform is destroyed. I'ma just stand on the beams. Now, I'm surprised that they just didn't instantly trap that. They literally just set up right in front of you. I would have trapped that instantly. Go for something else instead. Alrighty. Just a quick look. I forget to do this at the start of the battle. I should really do this at the start of the battle, but
Nothing my axe
a
can't
natural
handle.
50 tier 4 units for the attackers. So BOD has 50 extra units just from default. So that means that leadership wise, the advantage here in the tier 4, I should discount 50 units. I am loving that the fact that the banner guards are coming out, and the only reason they're using the banner guards is for that 15 seconds of 50% defense increase. Now, I'll tell you right now, SKT is not ready, not set up for a defense here. Straight up the siege tower, straight onto the A point. You didn't even need to get that second tower up, though. SKT might have been posturing for it. There was no one on the A point. You did not need to wait. BOD probably was being too cautious here and lost a lot of time. SKT is definitely controlling the pace of the battle. Now, an extra 3 minutes from the A point. We have 7 minutes towards the B point. You still have to get to the base point, so the B point is not your end goal here. You don't have much time either. So, realistically, you want to force SKT out into the open where you can fight them. You have plenty of artillery, and the more you waste kind of skirmishing with SKT here, the less advantage you have, because time is your constraint here. I think BOD just need to hit the ground and have artillery ready to be deployed as they bleed out SKT. They also need to hit a supply point. If they get a supply point, that is already a win condition for them to take B, regardless of how hard SKT fight. Because without a supply point, you cannot continue fighting inside the city. And you cannot, and I mean, like, I say cannot. It is very difficult to run all the way from outside to the B point, because you go past two different supply points on either side as you head towards the B point, which are much, much, much closer. Iron Reapers and Claymores out here on the field. I don't know why they have this breakaway contingent. We also have companion cavalry looking at the front here. Oh man, that mortar hitting super hard on the enemy. I mean, on BOD. Oh! Shenji just takes a hard L. I think 5 of them just died. Also takes out the mortar. BOD knows where SKT is. They have artillery. They need to force SKT to take hits here. And they also need them to stick around. Looks like it's going to be a fight up the center. SKT probably wants to control the edge here. Whoa! Oh no! Come on, brace up. The flames should be coming shortly. Front line is breaking down. Sunway Phalanx moves back, moves forward again. We have 3 Sunway Phalanxes in the back. We have Palace Guards at the front, holding 3 Palace Guards, 3 separate Palace Guards at the front right now, holding against the tidal wave of Iron Reapers right now. But the Sunway Phalanxes now pushes in. I think the backline just gets completely destroyed. I didn't even see that because SKT gets swept away in a lightning speed attack. They may have gone the supply point, but it's a massive retreat. SKT calls for a base defense. That is what I like to see. BOD just crunch that entire force from SKT. And we're not sure if they were super wounded or whether or not they were just too aggressive. They thought they had the advantage, but the triple Palace Guards holding out against what? That was 4 Iron Reapers and probably an X number of people. I also think the Siphonarios did actually less because they got caught out. A couple of them got caught out. I think there was only 3 of them left. I don't even think they're I don't think they're alive right now. Yeah, the Siphonarios died. I don't think they deployed the second Siphonarios just yet. Huge advantage for BOD. I think BOD should force a fight onto the base point, but do not commit, and throw a second set of units and do a full commit. Unfortunately, don't send just 1 Iron Reaper into a formation of shields and pikes. The shields will definitely soak up the damage, and I don't even think any of the stalwarts died there. Oh my goodness, that is quite devastating for SKT. SKT also being super aggressive here on this side. Siphonarios could easily come over here and start burning down. Oh, they didn't aim high enough. We have Winged Socks coming out. Gets stopped in its track though. Companion cavalries kind of loop around. BOD picks up a little bit, but SKT is seemingly on the winning side. We still have some reserves from BOD sitting at the back, but the majority of SKT is pushing forward. Big Treb onto the central line. Oh my goodness, SKT not controlling their Sunways very well at this point. Not sure where they're heading right now. More forces from BOD rocks up as companion cavalries just stomp through the Palace Guards and now probably making a mess of the Sunway Phalanx. I don't know what SKT's strategy was there, but they're being aggressive. Super aggressive unnecessarily. They needed to kind of bide time a little bit. Unfortunately, it's going to be a desperate defense from SKT, and I think BOD is going to easily handle this. There's only one way in. They can't take the long, well, I mean, you could try to take the long way around, but it's going to take you a while. That's why I call it the long way around.
Our
Also,
team is about to capture
the
the final
stairs,
flag.
also a big no-go. You're just going to run it straight into BOD's reinforcements as they rock up. Too slow. Cap point almost taken. We've got around about 5 seconds left, but we have halberdiers and prefecture guards. Surprisingly, barely touching. But a Shenji grenade just eliminates them both.
Child's play.
SKT throws in the companion cavalry. I love the lead, but my goodness, it's a sea of pikes with men-at-arms inside there. BOD takes the fight handedly. Well done. That was magical, to say the very least. I think SKT here kind of was led around the nose. They were super aggressive unnecessarily, but I do love it when a plan comes together. BOD, second time, a feint retreat. Like, I don't know if to call it a feint retreat, but on Harbor City, retreated out, pulled SKT out. I don't know why SKT followed, but they did. SKT again. BOD, looks like they want to come up through the center, pulls out, but SKT comes up, turns that corner. All of a sudden, BOD is forced to fight. But in retrospect, they forced SKT to fight where they wanted to. Obviously, companion cavalries and a couple of other infantry clears up the backside as the palace guards hold ground. I'm surprised that the Sunway phalanxes kind of some of them were pushed really far back. I think they could have been a little bit closer. I think they could have trusted the palace guard to hold, but at the same time, it still all worked out. And I am amazed at the performance from BOD here. They really it's kind of like a reversal here. They're feeling much stronger than SKT on the Harbor City. The fight was more even and less dominant when we were talking SKT versus BOD on the Harbor City. I think BOD was just only slightly down, but this now, Hidden City, BOD kind of just made a mockery of SKT. SKT did really well during the wall phase, posturing, definitely wasting time by keeping BOD kind of too cautious. I want to say BOD could have been a little bit more aggressive to take that wall earlier, to force their way, or to force the next section. I don't think they would have taken any losses. All they needed to do was a bit of posturing. They really should have gauged that they weren't going to defend A point because they didn't have troops on that side. And once the moment they didn't have troops on that side, they should have just set up that siege tower, created space. Once you create space up on top of that wall, it's actually really dangerous for the defenders to try to squeeze you at that moment, because it's just super travel. And once you're ready, you're ready to rumble and just slaughter the enemy defenders that decides to go, oh, I want to defend this. Nah, as a defenders, you have to defend the wall at the siege tower. If you try to defend the wall as the enemies already make it up onto the wall, nah, too late, too late. We are going down to a fourth battle right now. They didn't play on time while they needed. They didn't play on time while they needed. I'm not sure what you mean by that. They didn't play on time while they needed. BOD, I mean... Oh man, you're not gonna be able to answer until like 3 minutes afterwards. They just push that B and base, give the enemy priority. Yeah. The counter push, so you're probably gonna get this 3 minutes afterward. The counter push from SKT just gave priority to the attackers. Yeah. SKT probably wanted to take an aggressive stance to gain an advantage, but the problem here is that you're the defenders. You don't need to gain an advantage straight away. You need to gain an advantage by the attackers making mistake. That's just how it is. There are particular styles of defenses, but the aggressive defense relies on you being stronger than your attackers. In this case, SKT probably had reason to believe that they were stronger than their attackers, since on Harbor City, it did look like BOD was weaker than SKT in an upfront battle, but I think BOD did quite well in some of the battles, though they did rely on the respawn for defender's advantage, and SKT, I don't know, like on their defense, they did one mistake that I think I did criticize them for. It's like not defending the supply point. But they did buy time, which was a good thing. I'm feeling the field battle right now. BOD definitely does show that they know Hidden City better than SKT, and SKT's showing more weaknesses, thinking that they can win up front. I think BOD is a little bit more cautious, but it's right to be cautious, and it's leading SKT into a state of overconfidence. I'm just going to say overconfidence. They want to just be aggressive. They want to just crush their enemies and win. BOD is a slightly slower. They know when to. They know when they want to start taking advantage of the enemy. They just don't know how to maintain advantage against the enemy. They need to have either flank advantage or unit setup advantage. So I think BOD's is less flexible. SKT's aggressiveness and more active style leads them to be more adaptable when things don't go their way. BOD really need things to go their way to show dominance. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for BOD to gain an advantage once they have lost it. Alrighty, I'm not sure what's happening right now. We have clocked in overtime. Overtime! You know, I could have told the organizers that they didn't plan for enough time for the battles, considering that we are on we are on longer maps. These maps could be 20 odd minutes. And there is at least 3 of them. If there are any extra maps, so you need a one-sided battle to stay on schedule. We are playing with some of the, we're playing with top teams here, and these teams have definitely gone through a lot. They've been probably scrimming day in, day out. They probably were super hyped for the actual tournament games, and we've gone through 7 days of them. Probably 28 matches in totals across 16 teams. Actually, that's not that many. So, like, each team would have probably played like 3 matches each. At the end of the day, I'm willing to stick around. I didn't plan anything else because I knew that there was going to be overtime. If we don't want any extra overtime, SKT needs to win this next battle. Otherwise, it's going to come down to a field battle. And it'd be very upsetting if they do set up for a second set of matches to happen concurrently. I don't like it when they run matches concurrently because I cannot watch both of them at the same time. I can only watch one of them at a time. Now, we are at a unit selection phase. Again, unit selection phase is always the most important, I believe. This is where we get to see some key units being selected. Now, again, Sunway Phalanx is only coming out 5-ish times. We have 4 Tabrashios also coming out. I don't particularly support this many pikes, especially if your front line doesn't look like it exists. You have Iron Reapers, they're shock troopers. They're not front line, because the best units to protect a support unit like the Sunway Phalanxes or the 4 Tabrashio Pikemen is something that is tanky, that is strong. Great selection in the Smachian Stalwart. I think the Smachian Stalwart is a perfect selection for your front line. Palace Guard, also really good front line. BOD coming out with 4, 5, no, take that back, 7 Palace Guards. We also see Cypernarioids, just 1, 2 Shenjis, 1 Falconetti Gunners coming out from BOD. The Shenjis, I don't know. I think the Shenjis should take priority over the Falconetti Gunners in a case for the attackers. I think for the defenders, there is reason to think Falconetti Gunners should be able to put a lot of pressure on the attackers. But you need to keep them, like all ranged units, you'll need to keep them firing the entire time. You don't want the Falconetti Gunners to only start firing when the enemy team has started. You want them to be firing at all times. The moment you can see an advantage, again, like, oh man, no, please, not without whatever effect. Cease and desist. I don't like the effects. It screws up my screen. Fire effects, the flower effects, yeah, whatever. I really wish that they remove seeing those effects unless I'm viewing that player. If I'm in free mode, those effects should not apply. It's very hard to get a view of the whole battlefield. I do want to get in close, let you see some action. Now, do I suspect only one? Still works out. Though I suspected normally they put down 3. Middle siege tower gets destroyed though. Left-hand siege tower is looking dangerously low. But it's... the one Falconetti gunner is not going to make it. I think they're missing too many of their shots to put enough pressure on the thing. I think someone needs to jump down and buy time. Oh! Looks like a culverin shot from the far side? Or not? I don't know where that culverin shot came from. Oh, it's a culverin shot right here. Hey! Culverins can make it in here. I don't know why they use cannons. Surprisingly, the right-hand siege tower came up. I mean, I'd take it. It's actually not that dangerous. The reason why the right-hand siege tower is not that dangerous, look at, I mean, probably from hindsight, and we're also the spectator, we can see where all of the units are, but most of the time, not very many people are there on the right-hand side. You can definitely just walk up to here, close it off, make it very easy for your guys to get up. You should be able to take the wall lickety-split. They have a couple of surf units just rocking about. Don't need to fuss. Just bring out halberdiers. Great. Halberdiers can just go straight onto the point. Oh, maybe men-at-arms will kill the halberdiers. I highly doubt it. Without the +1 halberdiers, I mean, men-at-arms are not particularly that tanky. Halberdiers dish out an insane amount of damage. Almost ridiculous amount of damage. Whoa! Big treb. And a mortar. Nice shot. I think most of that men-at-arms is crying right now. Getting trebbed and mortared. Being a little bit cautious as well from SKT, but putting up way more pressure than BOD. This is the kind of posturing that I expect from SKT. They want to be aggressive. I'm expecting them to be aggressive. But I don't know why they're holding back right now. There's not much to challenge them on this wall. I would have definitely set up ready for this wall. Did not even wait for that siege tower to make it. With the A point taken, we do also have a faster time. Just the leftover men-at-arms. Not a huge loss here. Not a huge loss. I think they only lost a couple of rattan pikemen and men-at-arms. That's the extent of their losses so far. Or maybe yeah. Thought so. Falconetti gunners did get taken out. That's actually fairly unfortunate. The mortars took out the Falconetti gunners, so I'm actually quite sad to see that the Falconetti gunners got taken out. Not sure. Not sure if people keep them safe a little bit longer. Not to mention, like, Falconetti gunners in this scenario as well is really good. You can actually just point them roughly around where you think it's going to come from. Their inaccuracy actually helps with their, like, the randomness, and you can hit. Not to mention, I mean, I've used Falconetti gunners as well, and I've hit entire armies off of this wall before. A long time ago, though. Getting hit with a Falconetti gunner used to be painful, but the unit's health has been increasing, so like they don't take that much as much damage as they used to. Well, good thing too. I don't want the VNHouse and the other match to start just yet. I want to watch all of the battles. We are going to clock into overtime. There's no way we're not going to clock into overtime. The battle should have started 20 minutes ago. SKT make it down towards the wall. We got pressure from the longbow shooting. Probably taking out some high value targets. Definitely think they should be watching out for range units. Supply point did get taken. BOD kind of letting SKT set up here at the bottom section. I do suspect that people have realized that the middle section is the best way for the attackers can push up. The only problem is that you get a problem with a tail and the head. It's a hard corner as well. Overextend the head, you get hit on the side. The guys could come up and eat your tail, but you could flip it around and do a direct confrontation, but then you get like this push and pull thing where the defenders can keep rotating back and forth. Whether or not they can do that or not is another question. I do think pressure from a ranged unit here in this scenario would be really good. Though, if the Murmyalonas actually were in front, they would be much better suited because they have a much stronger healing capacity than anything, and they could probably eat that cauldron. They could eat that cauldron easily. Could be a rotating shield though. Alrighty, we're about to kick off here. I want to keep it a little bit high for now. The shields are pointing at each other. We got palace guards at the very front. Whoa! Where did those palace guards come from? Siphonarioids burning down the front line for both sides, I believe. Iron Reapers. Winged Assar charges right through. Banner placed down. Banner placed down? I think the banner got placed down, but they're getting beaten right off of it. Oh, someone picked up the banner. Iron Reapers now fighting Iron Reapers, but it looks like more Iron Reapers coming out from BOD. Actually, I take it back. SKT now winning out with their 2 Iron Reapers. I mean, SKT winning out with their Iron Reapers. Huge losses for BOD. That's not great, as I think SKT kind of won so heavily here that they're going to have to retreat back to the base point here. Best not stick around. Both the supply points locked up. We got companion cavalries chasing down heroes. Heroes got out. Very strong performance from SKT. Definitely what I expected from them. Pike dismount. Oh! And a swing from the glaive. The right click. Clear, chops off the head of that running spear. That pike dismount is one of the more powerful tools. Very frightening, indeed. I don't think getting dismounted is ever fun. Though, I miss being able to dismount with Jagnar's Return. You know, Jagnar's Return used to be able to force dismount with the kick. I'm not sure if that's still a thing, but I used to, well, I say I used to, I did it like twice. I used to, I dismounted people with Jagnar's Return kick, and it was so hilarious, because they're just like, what the hell? Nah, they just couldn't react, so I just killed them, and it was funny. Now, the good thing here is SKT's taking this slow. There's only 6 minutes to go. You could force an extended fight. SKT could just throw in units for them. So BOD is in a worse position, but not in a terrible position. Because it's a hard corner. The Shenjis are probably going to throw. The Shenjis should be able to throw into that corner here. I'm not sure why they're not. Oh my goodness! That Treb was so good! Also took out a lot of the Rattan Rangers as well. I mean, Rattan Marksmen. It killed 25 of the Rattan Marksmen and probably the entirety of that Forteratio. Oh, and a Mole Grab. Haven't seen that one in a while. Does die. Oof, man. BOD playing this like a classic siege defense right now. Though, off to a bad start, taking one major Treb. Siphonario is out on the field, burning down that front line. Don't want to push into it. Be kind of foolish to. You want to just slowly trickle. Again, the counter-offensive is not the smart thing to do. You want them to spread out. If you kept your Rattan Marksman here in reserve and just shooting now, shooting across here, once the shield is gone. Whoa, Treb hits directly onto their own companions there. The heroes are dancing around the point, but there's 4 minutes to go. They really needed to win. They really needed that win. Not very many losses coming out from SKT, and SKT is dominating. BOD. BOD is leaving as well in force. This does look like a force. It's going to be a force forfeit.
A walk in the park.
Ooh.
A walk in the park. A walk in the park.
That is strange.
Child's play. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
I've never seen this bug before.
Wipe them out.
Maybe. Okay. The base point is captured. SKT should have won it. What happened? I think the last man. This could be a technicality, but I honestly think there's no one left for the defenders. Actually, no. There's one person left for the defenders. He has no units, though. He has no units. This is a major bug. I'm gonna be wondering what's happening for this one. So, game-breaking bug. Honestly, BOD, the last player could just let SKT win, but on a technicality, if he just stays until the 1 minute 20, he's gonna win. This is the silly thing. What happened? What did they do? Did BOD know about this bug? The majority of them has left, by the way. One guy is still in the battle, but for some reason, even after capturing the base point, SKT has not been declared the winner. I don't think it's going to be a rematch, but like, I mean, this is just silly how BOD, I mean, it's fine just to sit, just to do nothing. It's better to do nothing when a game-breaking bug occurs until an official tells you to do something. I think someone just got kicked for AFK. That's funny. Oh! That is quite hilarious. This is even worse than I thought it was. This is a straight up... Alright. Can you exit? Can I exit? Oh, man. What a server. What a game-breaking bug, man. I'm guessing that's what people has been experiencing lately. Oh, okay, they started the next battle. That's great. And at 0.01 second cap bug. Yeah. Thought they fixed it. Apparently not. They already started the battle for Doc versus VNHouse. So this is going to be very weird because I'm going to have a 3-minute delay on a 3-minute delay. So I'm going to go into observer mode, and I can't. I'm going to go into observer mode for the Doc versus VNH battle. So that's going to be super interesting. Yeah, probably left the game. I didn't see the visual for it though. Ah! I didn't even turn it back on. Never mind. Anyway, SKT wins 3-1. BOD did pick up one battle. Good thing that they did, and they showed us some great teamwork. And definitely think that SKT just kind of fell into their hands a little bit. But at the same time, SKT's attack, very dominant, and definitely showing that they are the better of the two teams. So, a little bit upsetting. I was hoping that BOD did push for a field battle. Nevertheless, we are on to the second match of the day, and it is VNHouse versus Doc. I don't know why Doc has decided to have Doc again, or is this a Doc situation where it's just like some members from a different team has joined this team, so they want it to be different from the members that are not part of the old team, so who knows? Who knows? It would be very difficult, honestly. The battle was pretty much... The battle was basically, like, already ended. Yeah, no one was close for the defenders. The defenders were not, if not any, it was not even close. That's the thing. It's just like it was a landslide victory for SKT. The moment they won the attack, Jesus Christ, come on. There we go. Fix me bug. Hurst me better. You can get super speed by double scrolling. No one there on the ground. Ah, someone should just jump over. I mean, I would. I would just jump over. Alrighty, I do suspect that Doc is the better of the teams from this. So I forget to finish off the choose your prediction. Start a new prediction. Alrighty, battering ram does make it to the wall. They sent up some serfs in the meantime, as I was doing some other things. Surprisingly, like, I don't know why they don't keep the serfs around. They're actually hilariously good in a serf battle. Because of the healing, they can activate that every 15 seconds, I believe. And that means you can heal, like, roughly over 10% of someone's health. Not exactly 15 when we're talking about like higher tier units, but it's like 1/6 of someone's health when you consider like surf units. And like, look at this, the Rattan Pikeman and surf combo. Not exactly terrible, though it is Rattan Pikeman versus Rattan Pikeman here, so that's just gonna take forever. With the B point captured, we're going to move on to the A point as well. Well, I mean, we're going to capture the A point as well, pushing the siege towers. Definitely want those available. You never not want those available. The only question I have for the attackers is, will you destroy this wall? Can be useful in scenarios when you kind of want to avoid the ground, but this set of stairs can be a little bit of a death trap, but you still have the bridge here, so not exactly terrible. Boom. Someone trained their mortars. They were just waiting for that mortar to destroy it, I guess. Boom. Oh! Double hit! Very good job. The counter mortar fire from Doc is strong, but only one mortar being placed from the attacking team. VNHouse, plenty of resources still available to them. Ooh, let's take a look at the cav at the back here. We also have men-at-arms as well. So we have 2 Zwanji heavy cavalry coming out. I do still believe that Zwanji heavy cavalry is the best of the cavalry. We did get to see the winged Hussar come out and the companion cavalries. Companion cavalries, I do believe, is the most cost-effective cavalry in the game right now. For their leadership cost, for what they do, they are the best. 27, high damage, super fast, bit squishy cavalry. But if you want good old shock cavalry, Zwanji heavy cavalry will be your guy. I do not suspect that Doc doesn't understand how to use the Zwanji heavy cavalry. They're gonna wait for the opportune moment. But that also implies that their infantry is strong enough to hold back VNHouse. VNHouse has been notorious. They used to call them, used to say that they're the infantry only house. They used very little cavalry when they made their debut in the CBL. but I think they have switched to. I did think they switched to more cavalry-focused lineup later on. Let's see if this infantry meta will return them back. They did do very well for themselves in the very first CBL, or very first tournament setting. I do believe Crusaders did not participate in the very first one, and VNHouse was the victor of that tournament. But at the same time, I think I didn't watch it. I think I only watched from Gilded Age onwards. I casted the Blood of the Empires one. Ooh. Surprisingly, we have the farmers out here just poking VNHouse. I'm not sure why VNHouse is kind of wasting time on the ground here. Realistically, VNHouse can easily gain a lot of space just by putting units there. Presenting units for the defenders could also backfire. You don't want them to just hit your units or eat up your units for free, but sitting back on the wall is not the smartest thing to do when you're on a clock. 9 minutes to go. You'll only have 2 really good fights. The third one is a little bit scuffed. Not everyone goes with a triple tier 4 lineup, and we can definitely tell that there are tier 5 units that are out here. The Medals is also an interesting pick, considering that I believe Sunway Phalanxes are much better in context. The larger unit size makes it more difficult to kill off in one go. The the Wu Wei just gets eaten up here, losing the majority of them to the Zhuangzi Heavy Cavalry. We got plenty of ballistas out here as well. One thing that I always like to do is destroy this palisade. I used to run full range setup, destroy all of these palisades, and I would just shoot them. All of this stuff here, sitting here, I would have just shot them. They had to have come through here, so obviously I had teammates that would just ghost or shadow me just to protect this section here. If they came through, they were basically getting shot, and our allies were also doing very similar stuff. But yeah, these palisade walls are destroyable, so keep that in mind. VNHouse makes a massive move towards the supply point. Palace Guards go straight in it. Very unwise to walk straight into the Flamers here. But right now, the Flamers are on cooldown. Firestorm probably going to take another few seconds. Backside is also looking very dangerous. Need to push those Siphonarios up a bit further. They're not exactly in range. The Zhuangzi Heavy Cavalry almost makes it all the way through, trying to protect these Siphonarios from the heroes diving on you. Doc is not doing too well, but neither is VNHouse. The backside might win. Lancelot's actually closing out the...
Child's play.
Ooh, yep, looks like VNHouse does lose this fight. The respawn is making it very difficult for VNHouse to win. They do stop it, but I don't believe... Just because the VNHouse... Whoa! VNHouse is straight onto the C point, trying to lock up the supply point as much as possible. This could be good. The longer the heroes on VNHouse keeps the respawn from happening, the heroes that are alive cannot get new units. Those that of the VNHouse are dead are grabbing new units as we speak. Zhuangzi Heavy Cavalry making a mockery of the Lancelots, though. Not entirely, as the Lancelots pick up an extra 3 kills. Probably more than that. Okay. I was hoping the Medals were going to last a little bit longer, but the fact that the companion cavalry actually overwhelmed them was super surprising. Even in practicality, like Doc sweeping out VNHouse here, very devastating. I do think that the respawn was a little bit slow, but desperate times. VNHouse is looking worse for wears, losing. Like you're at over a through. Wow, you're almost at a 280 unit deficit right now. I can't remember exactly what you were at the beginning, but you're not looking too hot right now, VNHouse. You need to somehow draw out. Yeah, not VNHouse of old. VNHouse of old was not like the best of the best either. It was just like at a time where there was just not very many people playing. Well, I say not very many people playing. I'm pretty sure the members from VNHouse have changed multiple times. I think Yukimura has actually been on different teams. VNHouse moves towards this left-hand side. Could be a pocket hold. VNHouse. Companions try to go through the back line, but apparently it was a trade. No, not a trade. Landslide victory for cavalry from VNHouse. Could see another cavalry scruffle. Got on Siphonario as we have just Corteliers make it all the way through. Smashing that line into oblivion. Another Corteliers make it all the way through. Look at that. Look at that line just chopping through. And we have the infantry just getting demolished.
Destroy them!
VNHouse unable to stabilize very well. We also have some covering fire from some Rattan marksmen. Two good charges coming out from Doc there, sweeping right through a very right through the entire front line and into the back line. Like
Child's play.
Like that charge was optimal. The only way you could optimize it even further is that if you're going for just for the front line, but like cleaning with Corteliers. That's a two unit, by the way. Probably one of the lowest cooldown charge units you'll ever see. That and the Ironcap Swordsman. I think the Ironcap Swordsman can have like 7. 23 seconds, I believe, for Corteliers. If you have the Doctrines, it can go even further down to 3 seconds. Quite hilariously low. Companion cavalries are very scary. Just the sheer number of cavalry makes it daunting to face. You can see another Cortelier charge. Gets countered by the Ironcap Swordsman. I mean, scouts. We got lines and lines of halberdiers. We got tons of cavalry coming in. Swinging, but it's a big miss. The infantry line, just the massive cavalry just eating through each other. Though it does look like Doc is winning. This is the kind of mess that cavalry causes. There is a lot of infantry in the mix, but as we can see, it's really the cavalry that is dictating the fight. A lot of losses, a lot of deaths. All of the tier 5, 4, 3, and tier 2 units are out for VNHouse. Absolutely nothing in the tank. Over 400 units for the defenders. This is a solid hold for the last minute 30. I do give the defenders the benefit of the doubt that spawn killing attackers is allowed. Spawn killing defenders, not so much. As long as you're not capping the point, spawn killing the defenders is kind of silly. If you can cap the point, cap the point. Now, the upsetting thing here is that VNHouse tried to be aggressive
Summons you
when they should have been defensive, because Doc looking stronger, looking more aggressive. You watched the beginning of the fight. You watch that beginning of the fight. They're creeping up with their entire mass. Once VNHouse kind of piecemealed it in as well, sending one unit at a time. Doc sent everything at the same time, or tried to. The cavalry was also circling about. Once they heard go, they went for it. And you saw them. They went in mass. And I say mass, but like 27 cavalry, that's almost like 2 cavalries in one.
A walk in the park.
You're like 5 short of having like a second cavalry unit. You're basically 1.5 cavalry units by yourself. Literally by yourself as companion cavalries, you're 1.5. Well, congratulations for Doc winning that first attack. As we can see here, big loss on the supply point, pushing towards the C point. A little bit of a skirmish, but then getting completely pushed out. Then the final battle was, no, a little bit pushed out here. So this is the push out section. Then an even trade on, well, slight deficit here on the thing, but I think as it wore on, major losses. Oh, I didn't take a look at the scoreboard. I should have took a look at the scoreboard a little bit. Are you kidding me? They started the match instantly. I didn't even have 3 minutes to get out of the battle they just finished and started again. So I'm going to have this scuffed 3 minutes delay on 3 minutes delay. Ugh. In the meantime, Kurik Castle was banned by Doc. VNHouse banned Hailang Fjord. Oh, so VNHouse scored higher, so I think they get priority. But both of them chose Wall Fort, so it's going to be a 4 Wall Fort siege if that does happen. VNHouse banned out Matelator, Zaikili Militia, saved Lancelot Knights, and then banned Shenji Grenadiers. Doc banned Imperial Spearguard, Iron Reapers, saved Zwanji Heavy Cavalry, and banned Shirt Diners. The Shirt Diners ban is very interesting. I know that Shirt Diners are very powerful, but we have not really seen the practical effect of Shirt Diners. They are a support unit that is underrated, and in team settings, they can definitely pop off. At the right time, something like a Shirt Diners heal to an entire army. I'm not even sure how many units they can affect, but they can affect infinite units in my eyes. For a 60% heal? Yeah, that's gonna be huge. Not to mention, there's also the Banner Guards. 50% defense increase. It's a very small radius though, but battles can be stacked. Super stacked. Iron Reapers as well. You put that on Iron Reapers. Iron Reapers already have the highest armor in the game, and you increase that by 50%. There's not very many units that have over 2,000 penetration, and if you're got like 1,500 armor, you're dealing 25% of your usual damage. You're not dealing very much damage, and it's going to be tragic. I mean, you don't do very much damage to Iron Reapers in the first place because of the damage resistance, but doing less damage also because of their armor, even more so because, again, you could have low penetration stats and just get absolutely handled. That's what, like, Rattans are like. They have high armor, slightly lower health, but, man, sometimes I feel like some people stack out the doctrines for defenses on Rattan Pikemen or Rattan Round Shields, and they feel like Iron Reapers sometime. Well, that's without considering the poison, but like when you consider the poison, you're just like dealing no damage to them, so it's just like whatever. VNHouse does love a lot of heavies by the looks of it. Coming out with 1 spear, 2 pikes, 1 shortbow, 1 chain dart, surprisingly. Lots of cavalry, especially some of the low tier cavalries, Corsaliers, and the Iron Cap Scouts for Doc. Do you think VNHouse might want to keep an eye on trying to deal with that cavalry? Whether or not use cavalry of their own or set up for... I mean, let's put it this way. I think VNHouse should be slower and be less aggressive. They need to shore up their flanks. If Doc is super aggressive, you need to be defensive. If they are defensive, you need to be passive. That's how I feel. You need to poke out their defenses. Find a weak spot. Especially when you're the defending team, the attackers are definitely looking for an opportunity to take advantage of you. Like, this is all about taking advantages. The defender's advantage is the ability to let the attackers make a mistake, but you also need to have a proper defense. Nash, what do you mean the Phalanx was so good there? I don't remember seeing a Phalanx doing super well. Oh, no. For the supply point, yes. I think the Phalanx did super well, mostly because VNHouse was too elongated. They gave so much space. They had so much space. They didn't push up either. Very interesting treb right there. Will it kill anything? No, it does not. May fail treb. Takes the B point easily. C point gonna probably be taken. No defenses. 1 artillery. 1 mortar being used, actually. Now, we're gonna go straight into the C phase. Now, no delay at all. So, does take about 1.5 minutes. And I think you start off with like, 12 minutes. So a waste of only like 2 minutes here. Counter mortar fire coming out from VNHouse. Let's see if they can do the same. Oh, that has got to be painful. Rattan Marksman just getting slapped. How many did he lose? Oh, he lost 16. You don't want to lose your ranged units early. Counter mortar fire is slowly working. But there are more mortars out for Doc. As they just come falling down straight on. I mean, did they hit the Phalanx? Maybe hit the Phalanx here. But I love hearing the boom 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 boom. Like the consecutive landing of multiple mortar shots. Oh, Right in the center of nothing. That's got to be the what? I know mortars, like blue mortars, don't feel like they have a really big radius and the explosion looks bigger than the radius, but my goodness, that's got to be frustrating as hell. You watch that mortar land right in the center of a unit and you're just like, I didn't hit any of them? There's a particular unit that has a really large circle formation, and I hit in the center of that, and I think I only hit 2 guys. And they say that Shieldtron is vulnerable to artillery. It is, if you hit properly. VNHouse doesn't catch on the pike. Oh, down he goes. First blood for VNHouse. That definitely means they win, right? Ooh, a ballista. I didn't notice the ballista there. How much space do you have to work with? You don't have that much space. You don't even... I'd put the ballista over here. I mean, like, just enough so you can see thing. You don't want to get hit with it, though. A headshot from a blue ballista will kill you. Even if you go full toughness, that thing will kill you. It's like 18,000 damage if you get headshotted. There's no way you have 36,000 health on the CBL. I mean CBL. I mean on the tournament server. I believe it's the second one. This is... I did watch a... Doc did win the first one. Now, the scary thing here is that not very many units are on the field or the sea point. Doc could easily posture up, and VNHouse will have to match it. They have plenty of artillery. Even if you don't have any ranged unit, you can make up for it with artillery. You posture units out, build artillery, forces VNHouse out on the field. They creep up, you shoot them to hell. You shoot them from the get-go. And as they creep up to your guys, they'll be forced to fight. Weathering the storm is not an option. You just need to make a defensive formation. See, they're building mortars. They could have troops out here, looking at this sea point. Man, look at that lob! Look at that arm! Or was that a mortar shot? I wanted to believe that was a musket throw, but they didn't have the fire effect that I'm used to. Boom! Oh, ballista! Also, careful. VNHouse is outnumbered in heroes on this field. Does look like Demez pikemen. They want something out here. Oh, it is Rattans. I thought it was Demez. Wu Wei comes swinging. Unfortunately, the ballista and Rattan Rangers. Not Rangers, Marksmen. I keep calling Rattan Rangers for some reason. This is a really good time to have the setup. You can shoot. You're just out of range of the mortar here as well, I think. So it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary for VNHouse to creep up against this. Oh, they're going to go for a pocket. On the stairs. Lands directly onto the Sunway phalanxes, but the phalanx has the blue shield. They want to take out that cavalry. They're going to go all the way around. Going to probably take the supply point. This could be a scenario where they have to... They're going for a reverse choke here. This Rattan marksman is screwed. Oh my goodness, and they have the Rattans! This is going to be the worst scenario for VNHouse if they defend the C point. Just let them oh, and they got a good trap as well already. Instantly just wiping that Imperial Pike Guard. Only 5 of them left, straight on that point. Imperial Pike walk onto the Phalanxes, but instantly just gets deleted. I'm not sure where that damage came out from, but just watching that guy. We got Cavalry also coming out from 2 different angles. Rattan Marksman gets killed, but coming out through this front section. No Treb just yet. There's 3 Trebs available. VNHouse is in a strong position here. Keep pushing up the Flamers. Just draw up your back. We got some Zwanji Heavy Cavalry. Kills the Wu Wei. Very good, but runs straight into the Phalanx. Backline gets deleted, though. We have an opportunity from Doc to clear out the point, maintaining the unit superiority here at the C point. Does look like VNHouse is going to fall. There is and another cavalry rocks on through, not picking up a whole of a lot. Loses more than half of it. The C point has not been captured yet. They're kind of juggling really strangely, and they want this. They want this point. We got some Lancelots out on the field, but a Corteliers comes swinging, charges right through. Here comes Companions jumping straight onto the Lancelots. Lancelots tank it. Unfortunately, the follow-up does finish off the Lancelots. We also have the Phalanx also still holding strong. Treb straight onto your own unit does finally take the C point. Super heavy losses coming out for VNHouse.
Gossip lingers all day
holding very
long,
strong.
drawing a sword.
Cavalry coming in clutch as well. Cleared up that contingency coming out from the right-hand side. Most of VNHouse coming in through the center. I'm not sure what I can feel. No, I think. Yeah, they'll not pause TW for CBL. They're not that silly, or maybe they would be. I do think the Medals are in a weird spot. They're not great. They're not even holding up against cavalry. We just watched them just get absolutely pwned by the companion cavalries. And they got buffed twice, by the way. They recently got buffed twice before this season started, and companion cavalry was already so strong against the Medals that after the companion cavalries got buffed again, I had no doubt in my mind that you could trade companion cavalries with Medals. If the Medals are even slightly damaged, the companion cavalries would win. Though this sacrifice of the companion cavalry was ill-conceived. Let's the supply point go. I don't think that's a terrible idea. It keeps a couple guys on the supply point when you could probably try for a clear. You're not looking...
As you command.
You're not particularly looking very healthy in terms of unit selection. Oh, a couple of guys actually got the spare. But, again, very late here on top of the base point. We've got 5 minutes, 30 seconds to go. VNHouse is already getting squeezed. Losing on all fronts, trying to push straight into the Sunway Phalanxes. Surprisingly, the Sunway Phalanx is doing more damage than the Advance can deal to the Sunway Phalanx. I suspected that this would happen. But even with mastery, I didn't think that the Sunway Phalanx did that much damage for them to kill Imperial Pike Guard before their advance touched them. Second victory for Doc there on Wall Fort. Hopefully I can catch this one live. I know I'm 3 minutes delay on my thing, and I don't want to be 3 minutes delay on 3 minutes delay because that's just really sad. So let's see if I can hurry up and get into a live observer position. Or they'll kick me out if they don't want me there. Boop. Please notice me! Don't start without noticing me. Yes! Alrighty, there we go. Whew! Alrighty, made it. I have been kicked. Okay, fine. They don't want me there. It's alright. It's just a 3 minute delay on 3 minute delay now, so. Bleh. Alrighty. Creative? You think Doc was creative? There was a couple of things that I think was very positive. The swing all the way around, really cool. VNHouse, I'm not sure how I would handle that. Realistically, you would want to choke them off at the stairs. If you see them head towards that pocket, I would follow them up that stairs. The problem is that if you fight on top of that platform, you're screwed. If you fight them on the stairs, you're screwed. I have very little idea of what to do in that scenario, mostly because I've not seen it very often, and it only happens in CBL because it's 15v15, and you can't get that in any other, like, you can't get that organically. Like, regular sieges will never have a scenario where the majority of your team swings all the way around into the back of that kind of like sea wall section. Jinx versus OVO is player or not? I have no is that a Oh sorry. Cheese, I'm not. This is not the. This is not the. Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum. VNHouse now defending with Doc attacking. This will be this third battle. VNHouse really needs to pick up a victory. Otherwise, they'll have. Well, otherwise, Doc will kick him out of the quarterfinals. Do we see any defense from VNHouse? No! Hang on! Oh, wait, no, that's right. Doc attacked because VNHouse attacked first because they had first pick. Then Doc attacked. It's attacking again because they picked Wolford as well. So I was very confused. Like, didn't we just watch a VNHouse versus Doc with Doc attacking? Yes, we did. The question is, will it play out differently? B point getting captured right now. Oh, you only start off with 10 minutes? Huh. Never mind. You have a lot less time than I thought you did. Takes about 20 seconds to cap a point. Does get 3 minutes. And then A will be 3 minutes, losing only 2 minutes of time. If I was VNHouse right now in this position, I would change up my strategy completely. I wouldn't fight them over here, let them move over here. I would wait for them to put mortars down, run straight up to the bottom of the wall. The moment they start putting mortars down, run straight up to the bottom of the walls. Choke out the bottom of the stairs on either side and the front gate. If they come down, their mortars are useless in that scenario. They come down, they fight you. They fight you. And you probably got advantage. That bottom of the stairs is not kind to anyone. You're going upstairs, you're going downstairs. Either side is going to get shafted somehow. So we'll see, we'll see. VNHouse looking pretty samey as before. A couple of mortars do come out. Not a lot this time. Only about 3. Playing very similarly. Also looking like, what did it get destroyed by? Oh, another mortar over here. just use the mortar to counter mortar fire? That one? Interesting. Oh. Can that culverin shoot? I don't think... You'd have to be a very good shot to get that culverin to curve right to hit the mortars. I have no idea how you would do that. Also, they positioned it so well. Let's see if the trebs hit. No, it's too shallow. Hey, direct hit. Second? Second didn't come through. Plenty of Sunway phalanxes. Their unit is huge, so it feels like there's just a ton of them. But it does look like it's going to be the core of Doc's assault here. There are plenty of other units as well. Lancelots, Marielones, Claymores, surprisingly. We are seeing them being picked up. Not entirely sure if they're like... a specialty pick. Where someone just brings it along just for the buffs. The buff can be huge, but I'm not sure why... whether or not it's that impactful. Treb. I don't know where it went for that one. I think it mostly just went into the wall. Doc does make another posturing. You want to be careful, Glaive. I think you're going to die to poison. Or, well, not die to poison. You're fine. Oh, sticking around for too long. Treb just lands straight in. Takes out a good portion of every single unit. I think the Lancelots took the most damage there. Another brutal Treb. Oh, nasty. The movements from VNHouse is super predictable for Doc. They're getting them at every single corner, every single turn. This Glaive is holding the point. We got some spears and... Whoa! We got this spear caught out. We finally have some units joining us for the battle. Surprisingly, the Wu Wei just didn't smack that longsword out of his thing. Again, another big reversal. Will they catch the tail? That's another question. They're going to feed on through. Oh man, slow unit's going to get caught here. Could be a real fight. In a bad position for Doc, but could Doc recover? We got Typhonario is just burning down. No! That is such a good position to be in. Or not. Were they not touching? Oh no, that's not good. So the cavalry does come in and sweep up the infantry like it is nothing. I don't think the Siphonarios was as impactful as I thought they would be. But nevertheless, Doc wins huge as the entirety of VNHouse gets clapped. Trying to pick up something with the Zanji Heavy Cavalry, but a couple of their guys just do get picked up. They're charging towards the supply point. I'm not sure why. Probably go for a kill. Looks for the kill. Unfortunately, does not successfully get the kill. Oh!
A walk in the park!
Alrighty, VNHouse is in the same position. Same position as they were before. So the battle did not end up any differently before. They're looking pretty similar. The only thing is that VNHouse did take a more aggressive approach, trying to catch that tail. They tried to catch that tail, but it looked like they just flipped it around on them, and the cavalry came in like a storm, sweeping up the huge chunks of the infantry line. Do I think cavalry is disgustingly powerful? Yes, yes indeed. Do I think anti-cav units are strong? Yes, yes indeed. Which one's stronger? Still cavalry. It's very obvious that cavalry still has a massive advantage over infantry. Especially some of the not older cav, but like companion cavalry seems to work out very linearly. It doesn't have some kind of like, oh, overperformance moment. It's definitely overperforming just on average. But when it goes for stuff like a classic cavalry charge or a Zhuangzi heavy cavalry, these guys can easily pick up hundreds, well, maybe over 100 kills in a single charge or in a single activation of their number 2. Zhuangzi heavy cavalry's weapon veteran is one of the most damaging skills in the game. I mean, barring the cavalry charge in itself. This time, I don't think VNHouse has used all of his resources. I don't know why they gave up the supply point again. I don't think they can afford to sacrifice hero lives. Oh, no, I take that back. They can. They can sacrifice hero lives. I would just have those guys pointing in a direction and firing towards the center. Allow your guys... Where are you going? Imperial Pike marches off. Cleans up on the north. Lancelot's and Companion Cavalry. Companion Cavalry coming out for Doc. Half gets swept up. Both cavalries just sweep up that infantry center in the fight. We have a big mess of the Zhuangzi, the phalanx here from, looks like to be a combination of the Lancelots and the Palace Guards. But we have a big problem here for VNHouse with no way to reinforce units. They can only bide for time as heroes respawn in. They'll have to try to keep that supply point occupied as well. Can they get pushed off? Can they push? The longsword gets caught, gets killed. Now it's the spear's turn, gets killed. Do we see a respawn? Do we see 2 respawns? Additionally with the halberdiers. The instant race comes out. Pokey Pokey cleans up the halberdiers in mere seconds, not even making it to the point. Om nom nom. Now getting probably trapped here. VNHouse does lose their final battle. Triple win for Doc in a best of 3. We end on time, magically. And I do think... Or... Did we end on time? Yeah, we ended on time. Did we think... Did we actually think that VNHouse was going to win? Unfortunately, Doc won. I don't think VNHouse is quite ready to face off against that much cavalry. I definitely do think that VNHouse wants to be aggressive, but every time they are aggressive, they get easily handled. I think Doc... I want to say that Doc wasn't that strong, but completely dominating VNHouse here. And in terms of skill, also 1 level, maybe 2 levels above VNHouse. usage of the artillery as well. The only problem is, that last battle just showed how predictable it was. It was almost a repeat of what happened before. The only thing that happened differently is the battle on the near the left-hand side platform. Again, a lot of trebs hits true, hits hard, losing out on losing out very key units as well. But VNHouse put up a good fight. The only problem is that they got cleaned up really easily. Now, the performance from Doc does shine on an individual basis. The battle was a bit more spread out, not super clumped together. There were small fights happening here and there, and I do love to see a bigger battle. But the cavalry takes advantage of those bigger battles very easily, because you can't have every single one of your small battles be covered with anti-cavalry. And those battles that have anti-cavalry with them, the cavalry will avoid, and the infantry will go after. You know for certain, if you have infantry, you go against the pike units. And the counter metric just makes it very difficult for you to be flexible. There were definitely times where it's just like VNHouse really needed to kind of like shore up their lines and get the right units to face off against the right units. Sometimes it would start off a little bit looking good, but then it would instantly collapse as they kind of lost the matchup. Now, those are the battles for today. It is this first of the quarterfinals. We'll have another quarterfinals tomorrow, and hopefully I will be watching that as well. We will have YYY versus MKT, AP versus TLDR for tomorrow in a best of 5, starting at 7:30 or 19:30 at UTC +8. I hope you guys are excited for those matches. I definitely do think that YYY will probably win. It's a toss-up between AP and TLDR. I have not watched very many of their battles, and I'm not sure what I can expect from them. But YYY should definitely probably win their matchup, and I'm going to put my money on TLDR, the last dance reel. 10 heavies in a tournament setting is not that terrible. It's just not good. Mainly because you lack a lot of kill pressure on enemy heroes. One thing that becomes very apparent the better a team is the kill rate for heroes. When the heroes die, how many heroes die. If you kill all the heroes, it doesn't matter how many units the enemy has left, because you killed them all. One out of 5 was the short bow even. Yeah, 1 out of 5 was the only short bow. The surprising thing is that short bow is not a very common class in the CBL. I mean CBL. It is actually quite. Expansion kits to get more units starting in advance. So the barrack slot thing, I'm just going to answer this question real quick before closing up. So you need to go to items, and you get this expansion permit. There should be a discount pack for a... Oh, no. There is a discount pack for 5. Where are you? There is a discount pack for 5. Or maybe they removed it. There used to be a discount pack for 5, but yeah. Expansion permits, you go to items. I'm not sure why they removed it. Anyway, that is besides the point. Just go to items, you'll see Barracks expansion slot. It is there. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the battle between SKT versus BOD. SKT winning 3-1. And we did watch, and we just again watched the Doc versus VNH, with Doc winning 3-0. Tomorrow, of course, we have YYY versus MKT and AP versus TLDR. You already know my picks, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. But other than that, my name's Azukai, and have a nice day. Bye for now. A bit upset that couldn't get the stream going with the Porous Interactive guys, but we'll see if they invite me back for another co-casting. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. So, bye.